there, this is Susie back again with her pothos. Don't we all love pothos? My followers certainly love pothos and they want me to make another video to talk about how to have a pot plant full of pothos like this particular one, the Snow Queen, how to make it fuller, compact and a lot more leaves on them. So I'll show you what I do and how to make it fuller. But before we get into that, I'd just like to let you know about my pothos, how they're doing from the last video that I made. This one here is doing really well. They're all standing up beautifully and I put at least 5 plants in it. The secret is to put as many little baby plants as you can in the size of the pot. So if the size is approximately 10 centimeter wide, you put at least half a dozen babies in them, the rooted ones. And I've got one that I made on the 27th, which was the last video that I made on the 27th. They all seems to be doing well. The vermiculite has settled at the bottom and that's doing its job. I'm just hoping that it will root very quickly. And as you know, there are many different types of pothos, and their scientific name is Epipremnum aureum. So that's their scientific name, and also a family of Arisae. Now here I have lined out as many pothos as you can see, from neon pothos to golden ivy pothos, which is also known as devil's ivy, and then here's Snow Queen, and we have got marble queen, and we have enjoy, which is similar looking plant. It could be even the same name as the Snow Queen. And then we have jade pothos, we have pearl and jade pothos, we have velvet leafy type of pothos. They all come in heart shaped, and all pothos do require tropical climate, which is from 65 degrees Fahrenheit to 85 degrees Fahrenheit, which correlates to our Australian temperature of around 18 degrees to up to 29 to 30 degrees. That's the ideal growing condition. As we all know that when the temperature is out of its growing zone, we do tend to have problems keeping them alive, making them look healthy, and of course leaf browning is one of the problems that we face when the temperature drops to 0 degrees or in minuses or under the 18 degrees centigrade or Celsius. Now most pothos also like a very good drainage, so make sure that you use a good draining soils, which is cacti mix, which has got soil and grits in it, and also good quality premium soil or orchid mix, something like that, that you mix them together. And you can also add perlite if you wish. I never use as much perlite as I should use in my plants, but I just find that it's unnecessary to actually go extra length cost-wise to go and get perlite for the plants. But if you can avoid it, do avoid it. And if you like using perlite, go ahead and use it, because it is a good aeration, drainage ingredient or the material that you can use in your plants. Now I have done one particular plant cutting cut all the branches that were trailing out of my Monstera adansonii, which is the philodendron family over here, and I'll pick it up and show it to you how it's looking now after cutting all the dangly branches of it. It's looking wonderfully well here, and I just want this particular adansonii to fill up, looking fuller, compact formation. That's what I want this one to be looking. Now when watering, as you can see, the soil is literally very kind of dry. This is how you have to leave your soil as dry as this, and then you water all your pothos, because pothos don't really like soggy wet feet. So once the soil is dry, that's when you water them, and you have to water the root balls properly, which means that you give it a very good drink. Make sure most of the soil is wet, but not sitting in a saucer, because they don't like their roots to be sitting in any saucer. Good drainage, you hang your plants, because most of them do like hanging off a hook or something, and as you know, they're also trailing. A lot of them are epiphytes, especially the golden ivy. They like climbing, trailing up the trees and things like that. So, and most of them don't mind to be trailed on the totems. So do try them. A lot of variation that you can try with pothos. Really, this plant is number one plant, selling plant anywhere in the world. Number one, because of they provide really good clean air. That's one of the advantages of having this particular plant inside your house as a house plant, because of its versatility. It's a lovely plant, and here we've got devil's ivy. This particular plant, I've had it in this pot for nearly coming up to 2.5 years, and this certainly needs an upgrade and needs repotting, needs all these dangling bits chopped off, and put it in a glass for the roots to develop. Admittedly, that's one of the easiest way to do things, but you can actually put it straight into the soil if you wish. Sometimes it is advisable to actually have the roots already developed before you put in it, then you know that it's going to take off or start reshooting or giving you new leaves. Whereas if you stick them in the soil, when the temperature gets cold, it's very hard for the survival of the plant. That's why I prefer to have it the roots growing in the water first before I put them in the soil. But you can do either. There is no right way of propagating this particular plant. You can do either way. Watering, of course, try to provide them with really good rainwater. They love rainwater, and they do not like any chemical based water, actually the town water or the council supply water, because normally they contain chloride and sodium or fluorides and things like that. That's why we get a lot of browning patches, and the plant can look a little bit sick with those kind of water, because this plant grows naturally under the trees, very filtered type of light. They don't like direct sunlight. These ones, in Queensland, I have seen them growing in sun. This may take a bit of sun, but the rest of them, they do like bright lit areas, not bright sunlight, but bright lit light, which is next to the windows where there's no sunlight coming through, but generally with bright light, which I have got a lot of behind me. The sun is on that side shining, the bright light comes through those windows, and I have them all dangling, hanging in my atrium. And now I'm just going to quickly show you what to do. So we'll take a little break and come back to you. Oh, by the way, here I am back again with my Snow Queen Pothos. I'll show you what it is looking at the moment like, so you get to know why am I chopping this, why I have to chop this. This is what it's looking like, and I'm just finding it that it's not fuller look, and it's not compact, and it's not giving me enough branches this side or that side, and I'm finding it that it needs a bit more work. So what I'm going to do with this particular Snow Queen Pothos is literally cut into little bits that I showed you in the last video and put them in the water to get the roots happening. Now, any pothos, doesn't matter which kind of pothos you're planting or have got it in your house, is if it does not get enough bright light, you will find that the leaves, not particularly this one, but the leaves will be a lot smaller, heart-shaped, because normally you would expect a potho to have a leaf this size or this big sizes and this big sizes in all of them. They must be getting enough bright light to be a good average size heart-shaped leaves. In here, this is how these snow queen tend to grow, but I just like to let you know, if your potho is not getting bright light, if it is in a low light situation, shady place, and not having that natural light, the heart-shaped leaf would be a lot smaller, and the branches would be quite straggly, and the leaves would be far apart than having a nice compact leaves on its branches. So just keep that in mind, that they do require really nice bright littered place or bright area away from the bright sunlight. Though it doesn't like the direct sunlight, but just the bright light. Now I'm just doing these cuttings and things, so as I was telling in the last video, you make sure that it's rooting as well, and get rid of the long branches, and just keep something like this to actually put it in the pot like I have done it in here. So I'm just going to create a lot more, because I'm going to shape this plant, and if I think that it really needs a good repotting, I will, but I'm just going to cut all these branches, and I am going to cut it straight, say from the pot size up to here. So most of this is gonna get chopped off. So you can see where I'm cutting all this from. And I will just leave this doing its job. And it looks something like this now. Maybe I should cut this one to this one here. And here. I've just nipped every one of them. So I want this to get a bit fuller, more compact, so I can see a lot more branches on branches happening. And I will leave this is very heavy because it's terracotta. So just leave them on the side here. And as I have explained to you in the previous video, with pothos, it's so easy to propagate. And what I normally do is fill this up with vermiculite. Why I use vermiculite? Because number one, I find it easier for it to root in this vermiculite. So just have about half a cup in a basin that I have got here, and fill it up with some water. And of course the vermiculite, as I've said before, it will settle down at the bottom in probably tonight or by tomorrow it should settle down. And all I will be doing is literally chopping and making little cuttings, taking the middle branches off it completely, because that's no use. We're just interested in little branches like that for it to propagate. So this is what I'll be doing. So I have actually shown you how to make your plants compact, and all I'll be doing is making 100 more plants, little plants. And what I will be doing is I'll be putting them in another pot, and I will be probably putting up to 10 to 15 little guys like this in a pot about this size. And I will let it start shooting, sprouting, and becoming into a beautiful plant. So once I have done all those jobs and repotted them, I will show you how beautifully it will then have a nice compact plant. Thank you for watching my video. Thank you very much. Bye for now.